Surprise, motherfucker! What's up? This is Venger Satanis, and Leftoids Mad. That's the title of this video, or will be when I type it in after it's being processed or whatever. So last night, Twitter kind of blew up with that whole woke list. Um, Someone on the RPG sites that Pundit runs came up with a list of woke companies that were in the red category, and then non or anti woke companies in the green category, and then the middle was yellow, which was, could go either way maybe, or not enough information. And that had been on the RPG site for a while. But someone made a Google Doc of it and then started spreading it on Twitter. And so many leftoids just went fucking bananas. And you can tell because they didn't come right out. Some didn't come right out and attack it or attack the people on it. The non-woke people, the non-social justice warrior people. They used their aloofness, like they were above it all, sarcasm, thinly veiled ridicule, just talking about how awful it was, and concern trolling, how vile the non woke people were and their games were. I don't know. It was all very weird and disgusting and idiotic. That these people on the left that pride themselves on their lists and boycotts and calling people out and cancel culture and accountability would run screaming or just be like, this doesn't affect me. And it just goes to show that it does affect them, and it pisses them off, and it shows their true colors, and it shows that we're fighting back. And they hate that because they know that they have this much credibility and power. And if this shrinks by even this much, they're going to fucking freak out and not know what to do. I think they see the writing on the wall. The pendulum has been swinging this way for so long, and it's just now starting to go back because it's slowed. It's coming up to a tipping point. It stopped. It's just starting to slide back to the other way, to the side of normality, normalcy. And I think they can smell that. And probably smells like their own flesh burning in their nostrils, which is glorious. Because hopefully, yes, things are going to return to normal. And we're not going to be constantly assailed by all the social justice warrior woke nonsense. I could just go on and on and on and describe it, but you guys know what I mean. I'm sure most people have picked one side or the other by now. Or if you're stayed in the middle, good luck hanging on to that, because pretty soon there won't be any middle ground. It'll just be constant. It'll make the edition wars look like, I don't know, a Sunday picnic disagreement about strawberry jam versus grape jam. So that's coming. Get ready for that. I got blocked by about a dozen more leftoid gamers on Twitter, so that was interesting and fun. They do me the favor of blocking me. I lost a reviewer, unfortunately. He's only reviewed 2 or 3 things. And I've had a conversation with him before on Twitter. In my DMs, I look back to see if there was a warning sign that this guy was some sort of flaming SJW. And no, he even called out the fact that he didn't like cancel culture a year ago. And he was going to review Chult, Fuchsia Malaise. He'd been planning to review it for the last 9 months, I'd been badgering him for the last 6 months, and like sending him one or two messages on Twitter, just checking in a month. And finally, he was about he was about ready. He'd read it or was reading it. He was about ready to publish his review, I think. And then this came up, and first he was like, "Are you aware that this is happening and the list exists and that you're on it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm proudly on the green side because I am anti woke, anti SJW. Um, Sometimes it seeps into the games, but me as a publisher and an individual and a gamer, I'm against all that stuff." And then we got into it a little bit in the Twitter discussion, back and forth. I was just saying that, um, I don't know, the usual stuff. That it's, people on the right or people in the middle have been silent and just trying to get along for far too long. And we just let things go. We were hoping that things would go back to normal and all this nonsense and outrage would die out, and it hasn't. So now you're forced us into a corner, and we're fighting fire with fire. We're bringing it to people's attention that these companies are woke, and that's not a good thing, and they need to go, or we need to be be more mindful about where we spend our money and whom we associate with. Because we would like nothing more to just ignore politics and not get into this. But we can't. They've left us no choice. So now that's what we're doing. We're going headfirst into the politics, into the political zone, and we're making sure that our voice is heard, that we're represented, and that the leftoids don't keep eating our lunch like they have been. So yeah, we're gonna keep fighting with fire with fire, and this is just gonna continue until things go back to normal. All right, that's the end of this video. Crimson Escalation, the Kickstarter, still ongoing. Please support that. In the next couple months, I will talk about the third book in the Chult trilogy, Chult's Chartreuse Shadows, which I'll be kickstarting in October, and then eventually in next July, VengerCon, and I'm super excited about that. So lots of good stuff, and stay tuned.